Hey, Sports Porchers! I'm your hockey Jesus, and I'm back with the Stanley Cup Round 1 mid-round analysis. Well, the last time I left you guys, we were talking about the first round and who might be able to come back from some deficits, and I don't really think there have been too many surprises, except for maybe the Dallas series, but we'll get to that. You can see behind me right there, you see these little things right here? They're moving out of the first round and into the second round. That's right. We have 5 teams who have made it through round 1 and have found their way into a second round of potentially 4 rounds of playoff hockey. Look, the hockey's been pretty good. It's not been great. It's been a little surprising in that it doesn't look like there are going to be a lot of game sevens. Last year, I think there were like 4 or 5 game sevens in the first round, which was a record at the time. That's not going to happen this time with 5 of them already being completed. Only 3 have a chance to making it. And actually, only one series went to a 2-2 tie, which is very surprising. That means that either there were 3-1 or 4-0 series finals. Let's get to some of the finals that have happened. Look, we're going to start in the Atlantic, what I'm going to call the East Atlantic, where Florida did take out the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-1. This series was pretty evenly matched, but this is why I thought Florida was going to win. I did predict Florida would win, by the way, and this is why I thought they would win. They are such a fools team. Look, Tampa Bay thought that they were in it, and they were. I mean, they played them pretty even, 3-2, 3-2, and lost in overtime in that second game. Look, Carter Verhaeghe is a gamer, and he's the one who got the overtime goal in that second game. And, even though they lost 5-3 and Tampa Bay came back to win 6-3 in the fourth game, Tampa Bay thought they could come back and win it. And I don't know why they thought that. Look, Tampa Bay's got the same problem that my Pittsburgh Penguins have. They're too old. They got to re-sign some old guys that actually performed okay. Stamkos had 6 points in the series against Florida. He's the guy that that everybody was looking to at the end of the game, saying, "Is this it in Tampa?" He pretty much owns every Tampa Bay Lightning record down there. Are they going to let him go? Look, Tampa Bay Lightning fans, I just implore you to think about this. Either think about what's good for your franchise or think about what's good for nostalgia, because the Pittsburgh Penguins went down the nostalgia track and they haven't seen a lick of the playoffs in 2 years. I know they've been close, but they haven't played in the playoffs in 2 years. And trust me, Sidney Crosby, I think, would rather be playing in the playoffs than playing with his buddies. And that's a tough pill to swallow, but that's what you're looking at right now, Tampa. So check that out. Look yourself in the mirror. Look, you lost 4-1 to Florida. Florida's a really good team, by the way. I gave them less credit than I probably should have. Bobrovsky was pedestrian in the first round, 2.78 goals against and an 896 save percentage. That's not great. I mean, and they still won 4-1 against Tampa. I don't know. Maybe Tampa's not that good of a team. Kucherov, 7 points, no goals. That's the thing. Kucherov's got to get some goals in there. I know he's a playmaker. I know he had 100 assists. I get it. He's a great player. He's an all-time great player. But look, when you lose in the first round, you're always going to look yourself in the mirror. So Florida's on to the second round. They're over here somewhere. They're over here, right here. Oh, right here they are. That's Florida right there. Look, these banners are a little old. I need to get myself an updated version of them. So I had to print out Florida Panthers. Sorry, Florida Panther fans. I know that looks a little pretty terrible back there, but it's what I got for you right now. So Florida's moving on. The team they're going to play against, they're still playing. Boston and Toronto. Look, Boston looked like they had a commanding lead. They went up. They were up 3-1. And I don't think there's any reason to panic in Boston. I don't. But they've seen this before. Last year, they were up 3-1. Lost the last 3. Got knocked out of the first round. This is my advice to Boston. Just don't choke. Look, I took Toronto. I think Toronto is the better team, but look, they have not played with Nylander. They're not playing with Austin Matthews now. He was out last game, going to be out for game 6. Look, they play tonight. Boston could just finish this thing tonight. There's no reason why they can't. You just got to get the 3 goals, Boston. It shouldn't be that hard. Look, who is in goal for them? Joseph Wall? You're going to let Joseph Wall stop you from getting out in the first round? If you do, Boston, then you deserve to lose because there's no way he deserves it. Samsonov's played okay for them, but look, without scoring any goals, here, Nylander, Marner, Matthews, and Tavares, you want to even throw Tavares in there, have 3 goals and 5 assists between the 4 of them. That's ridiculous. That's terrible. That's just, I mean, if you're a Toronto fan and you look at that, that's all you have to do. Look those guys in the mirror. Look, Max Domi's having a great series. He's got 3 assists. He's got 4 points. He's a +1. They've been playing okay in the defensive zone. I mean, they're not hugely negative. Toronto isn't. But man, they've done a good way to stop Boston from getting goals. And the only guy they haven't is their superstar, Brad Marchand. God, does that hate me? I hate saying that. Boston superstar, Brad Marchand, but it's true. He's got 8 points. He's got 3 goals. He's been the leader for that team. He's the reason they have 3 wins. He is not, however, the reason I think they'll win. I think they'll win because Swayman or Olmark, both these guys are good. Swayman's better for sure, at least against Toronto. He's a 1.49 goals against, 3-1 record. He only has 6 goals against and 124 shots. And Olmark's actually not been great, but he still has a 912 save percentage. But when you look at Swayman's 952 save percentage, look, Boston, just play Swayman, get 3 goals, don't choke. That's my advice to you. You'll be on to the second round. That will be a game that'll be a series I will not have picked. I do have Toronto winning in 7, however, so that is still a possibility. Your hockey Jesus can do it. By the way, if you really want to see what my picks are, just go on to the bracket challenge. I'm out there. Hockey Jesus has his own bracket challenge. Mine's Luck of the Crosby, by the way. That's my team. Love Crosby. So I didn't want to put Hockey Jesus in a Hockey Jesus bracket. So if you want to go see my picks, they're out there. Luck of the Crosby, that's my team. But Hockey Jesus, if you want to join, I think you can join onto the bracket. If you already have a team out there, just hop on. Get on. It's fun. You can compete against the Hockey Jesus. Doesn't look like I'm going to win that one, though, against Boston. Let's jump over the Metro. Both of these are over. Where is it? Right there. These games are over. Look, they were over probably a week ago. New York Rangers just decimated the Capitals 4-0. I went off on Rempe last time. There's no reason to go back and do that. The guy doesn't play enough. He doesn't deserve enough attention. Look, Zibanejad had a really good series. Had 7 points for the Rangers. And Shesterkin, he was pedestrian. But you know what? I think that the Rangers are very lucky that they didn't have to play against Detroit, or maybe they're not lucky because here's the thing. It's nice to have a round to kind of just skate through and not have to really worry about it, but you'd rather have that in the second or third round as opposed to the first round. Sometimes you get a false sense of security when you play against a team who's not very good and you just skate right through them. New York's going to have to pick it up if they're going to want to beat Carolina, who Carolina beat the New York Islanders. Look, and they were pretty pedestrian with that, too. Anderson had a 912 save percentage, 2.25 goals against. Seth Jarvis had 3 goals. A lot of other guys with 5 points, Svechnikov and Nikas. I think Carolina is a very solid team. I like the way they play. I think they're going to be a tough out. Look, I don't know how much hockey we're going to see when the Rangers play Carolina. It's going to be a lot of mucking up the middle. Don't let them in the zone. Carolina has a really good penalty kill. So I think the difference in that series is going to be Carolina's penalty kill against the Rangers power play. If they can keep that power play, and the New York Rangers do actually have a very good power play. I think if they can keep that power play from scoring at higher than a 20% rate, I think they probably got a good chance at taking out the Rangers, but that one's going to be a tough one to pick. I did take Carolina, but that should be a really good series. I don't know how much great hockey we're going to see there, but if you want to see great hockey, just go to the West, and that's where we're headed now. We're going to go out to the Central in the West, where Dallas is still playing Vegas Golden Knights. Look, This has been some really strange hockey, and here's why I say that. I watched the first period the other night, and these guys back and forth, 2-2 game in the first period. Then after that, it's just like, maybe we should slow it down a little bit because it's just not really working out. Too many chances. We got to play a more structured game. And that's what's so crazy. Like, and even Edmonton does it. And we'll get to Edmonton in a second. All you Edmonton Oilers fans, just hold on. Look, Dallas and Vegas Golden Knights, they know how to turn it on and they know when to shut it down. And there's been a lot of that. Look, everybody knows Vegas came out, won the first two games. They won 4-3, 3-1, and things look great. Vegas was already getting ready to lift their second cup in a row. That's right. They're the defending Stanley Cup champions, so you're not going to give it up too quickly. But boy, Dallas, they are such a great structured team. They didn't blink. They came back. They scored. They win 3-2 in an overtime game. Whew. They really needed that win. You lose that game and it's over. But they got it. They got the overtime win, and they seemed to get their footing after that happened, winning 4-2 and 3-2. Look, only giving up 2 goals to Vegas isn't that big of a feat, but scoring 3 and 4 goals against this Vegas system, they're structured. It's very hard to get a lot of shots and odd man breaks against this team. But I tell you what, there were a ton of them. And I can't tell if Dallas is just that talented that they can bust through the blue line and keep it going. But look, Wyatt Johnson's been great, especially on the power play. 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points. Robertson and Heiskanen have been good. You know, big surprise for Dallas has been Dadonov. He's been great. I love to watch that guy play. He is so fast and shifty. But look, Robertson and Heiskanen, Robertson's a -3 and Heiskanen's still a -6. And I beat him up last when they were down 0-2. Heiskanen's got to figure it out. But I think Dallas, when they went out and got Tanev, Tanev doesn't have any points, but he's a +6. He's a really good shutdown defenseman. That was a great pickup for them. I think that's really kind of keeping Ottinger sane. Look, he's got a 2.31 goals against. That's not great for Ottinger, but he's got a 911 save percentage, and I think he's really calmed down here. I think that first game kind of took him off his game a little bit, but 2 goals in the last 3 games. All of them wins. I think that's good news for Dallas. Vegas, I don't know what's going on. Stone only has 2 goals, but he's a -3. Maybe he came back a little too soon. McNabb and Eichel have been fine. Eichel's got 7 points, 3 goals, 4 assists. He's been playing just fine. I don't see any problem with Eichel. But look, Noah Hannafin, the 2 guys that they picked up, he's got 4 points, but he's a -3. And Thomas Hertl, he's been kind of empty. 1 goal, -5 on the series so far. Look, if Vegas is going to get out of this, they're going to get Hertl going, and that's about the only way I think they can do it. Vegas goals against as a team is 2.8. Not what it was last year. I know they've had a couple 3 goalies in there. Aiden Hill played last game. They're all about the same, honestly. All those goalies are about the same save percentage. I don't have them in front of me, but that 2.8 goals against, not great. So I think they're going to have to get a little bit better goaltending. Of Vegas is going to have to. They're going to have to get Hertl going. If that happens, they still got a chance of coming back on Dallas, but looks like Dallas is on track to win that series. Let's jump to Colorado, Winnipeg. Well, you can see Colorado's over here by themselves. Yeah, they're a really good team. I mean, all this talk about Georgiev not being the goalie, just come on. They just took out probably the Vezina winning goalie in Hellebuck, and it was like a no-brainer. 5.6 goals for average in the series. Are you kidding me? That is against Hellebuck. Like, whoever they get next, will it really matter? Colorado just got a lot of really good young, hungry talent. They're just great. I love the way they play. They're back and forth. They don't care if they get down by 2 goals. They're still going to come at you. That's a sign of a really good hockey team. They went down 1-0 in this series and came back and just stormed Winnipeg as if they were standing still. And honestly, they were. And Winnipeg, they've got they've got old man problems too up there. They're going to have to decide what to do with that team. Most of their team are in their young 30s. They're signed to longer contracts. They signed Hellebuck to a pretty big contract at the end of last year. It's like 8.6 million a year. Is he really worth it? I mean, he can get you where you're going, but maybe it's just, the fact that they played Colorado. Maybe it's not time to panic yet in Winnipeg. I guess I probably wouldn't panic if I was them, but I would be a little nervous about having a lot of our superstars in our 30s and not in our 20s, thinking the time might be passing them by again. Look, I love Winnipeg. I think they're a great franchise, but boy, they don't seem to be able to get it together in the playoffs. So they're out. Colorado's moving on. Let's move to what I call the Pacific West. Look, there's one series that's already complete and one that's being played. Let's talk about the game that's being the series that is being played right now in the Pacific. That's Vancouver and Nashville. Look, this is not my kind of hockey. Nashville and Vancouver play a game where it's like you can see 20 shots in the whole game. And it's just a lot of block shots. It's a lot of don't let them have odd man breaks. I actually think that Nashville missed a golden opportunity. Look, Nashville could have had the lead. Vancouver came out and won the first one 4-2. Then they lose 1-4. And you know what? Here's the thing about Vancouver. They're a really young team. It's the first time they've been in the playoffs with a basically as a rookie coach. Tocchet's been in the league a while. He knows how to play playoff hockey. He won 2 cups with our Pittsburgh Penguins. And he has coached for Stanley Cup winners too. So he knows what it takes. But to be able to pass that on to players who haven't been there and know how to do it, that's a little tough. So you're going to see some wild fluctuations in Vancouver. And I think you saw that, when Vancouver won 4-2, then they lost 1-4. They got to keep it focused. And I think, these 2-1 games and these 1-2 games, Nashville winning one and Vancouver winning the other. That 4-3 meltdown, though, in Nashville, I thought that actually would have put the fork in Nashville. Excuse me. I think they would have put the fork in Nashville because I thought they wouldn't be able to come back. But look, Nashville came back to win a 2-1 game. And that, to me, tells me that they're a very focused team. I don't know where this is going to go. I think Vancouver, if they get to a game 7, could be in trouble. I think Nashville's got a chance at taking a game 7, but it's very possible Vancouver just close it out. Look, I think the problem with Vancouver is they have 3 goalies and they're all the same. Oh, well, I mean, Demko's out, right? So he got injured. He played the first game. DeSmith played a game, was good. Played a game, was bad. I think it was actually the opposite. Played a game, was bad. Played a game, was good. And Silvos, same thing. Look, they both got 900 save percentages. As a team, they're about 905, somewhere there in the save percentages, and a 2.1. That's unfortunately the game you have to play. That's why I say that's not my kind of hockey. You got to win a 2-1 game. You got to win a 3-2 game. 3-2 is not terrible. Look, it's going to come down to this. It's the first team to get the 3 goals. The first team to get the 3 goals in either of the game 6, or if there is a game 7, that's going to be the team that wins out the series. I can't predict it. Look, Brock Besser was the reason they get scored 4 goals. And he'll be the reason they get the 3 goals. He's a superstar. JT Miller's up there. He can get them there also. Pettersson has been okay, but he needs to step his game up a little bit. Don't have his stats in front of me, but I can tell you these guys are going to be the ones who get it done. Forsberg, by the way, is the only guy for Nashville who really has a chance at getting it done for Nashville, the way I see it. Honestly, Soros could steal a game, and that would be it. I would think if it's a game 7, you're going to see Soros steal it away from Vancouver, and they'll get a goal from Forsberg in the 3rd period in a 25-shot game, and they'll win if they make it to game 7. Let's move on to the last series in this what I'm calling the playoff 2024 Stanley Cup Playoffs, mid-first round analysis. And that's your Edmonton Oilers against your Los Angeles Kings. Look, everybody was like, oh my God, the Kings beat LA. in the first one. It's unbelievable the amount of parallels between this and the Colorado series. Edmonton was just like, nope, this is not happening to us. There's absolutely no way we're letting LA take anything else. And look, all you need to know is Edmonton has 4 guys in the top 10 of all playoff scorers that are in the top 10. 4 guys. They own 4 of the 10 positions. 40%, by the way, I think 3 or 4 of the other are Colorado guys. So between those two, I think 70 to 80% of of the people in the top 10 are either Colorado or Edmonton. Um, that I think is a little bit of a sneak preview of where I think the West is going. But look, the Kings, they're still young. The only thing the Kings have going for them is Kempe. He had a really good series, but look, you can't do it alone. It's a tough lesson for this LA Kings team to learn. They're young, but and everybody up at Edmonton said we don't have a goalie. Look, Skinner played fine. 910 save percentage, 259, 2.59 goals against. He has the only shutout in the postseason. So come on, Edmonton, get behind your goalie. I think this might be his run. Maybe it's a Bobrovsky run. Maybe he can get there this year. I don't know. It'll be really interesting. Where is Edmonton? They're down here. Look, they get to play against Vancouver, Nashville. So, I mean, why not start getting excited about Edmonton? Forget about the choking stuff. Enjoy it. It's the playoffs. Your team's in the playoffs. They're one of the favorites at this point to win it. I mean, let's just go with it, right? Come on, Edmonton fans. What do you say about that? So, here's my analysis for the mid-round. I think so far I'm 5-0. Hockey Jesus, 5-0 in the first round, but not looking good. Looks like Boston's probably going to take out Toronto, but if Boston doesn't choke, and they've been known to do it, Vancouver, Nashville, it's a coin flip. Anybody can win. I think Dallas is going to eventually take out Vegas Golden Knights, but I think that's a 60-40 chance. Maybe 70-30. Just because I think Dallas has been there before. So, hey, sports fans, thank you for watching the Hockey Jesus Stanley Cup 2024 mid-round, first round, mid-round analysis. We're here for you on the porch. That's what we do. And I'll be back. I don't know if I'll do it between the first round or the second round. But somewhere after the second round gets started, you'll see me back here on YouTube. You can catch me on the podcast. You can catch me on theporcheslive.com. Hey, hit that subscribe button. You don't even have to come find me. I'll come find you. And that's what we do. We're here on the porch. We love our hockey, love the Stanley Cup Finals. And until we meet again, hockey fans, rejoice. It's playoff time. Let's go.